Here we go, rocking and rolling once again. Welcome, welcome, everyone. A very warm welcome to all of you. I've had quite a nerve-wracking start to the day. I don't know about anybody else, so we'll try and just balance ourselves out as we get going this morning. As you join in, if you'd like to just drop a 1 in the chat to let me know that you can hear me and you can hear the panic in my voice, that would be ideal. And then we know everything's working. Thank you, Graham. Tell you what, Graham is often just the first in there. Paul, love it. Love to see you again. Thank you very much for joining us. Hey, Lisa, Nikki, etc. Appreciate that, guys. It's good that you're feeling hot to trot this morning with the old 1s and 2s, because I've got a lot to ask. Honestly, it feels like yesterday since we were last gathered around the computer doing one of these webinars, Max. But actually, a lot's happened since we last met. So I'm excited about today. Given today's temperature, I think I'm going to be slightly more hoppy than usual, and I've got some questions to get us all warmed up, as per always. For those of you that are new, don't worry, you get used to it. This is just my usual state of being. Right, before we get into the exciting world of voice agents, which is, I know, why you're all here today, I'm intrigued because we've got a lot of new people and a lot of new names on the list. Pop a 2 in the chat for me, please, if you know about or have already signed up for the 3-month free trial of Surgery Intellect powered by Tortoise. I promise this is my only plug. I just want to know. A 2 in the chat if you have already signed up or at least are aware of the free trial with Surgery Connect. Surgery. There's no free trial of Surgery Connect. Scrap that. We'll have to edit that out later. The free trial of Surgery Intellect powered by Tortoise. Did we get any 3s in the chat? I didn't see. Too busy tripping over my own words. 2s. We've got 2s.
Got 2s.
Excellent. Because it's 2s that we're looking for, isn't it?
It is.
See, this is what happens, Max, when you leave me till the last minute before joining the call. I'm absolutely spinning on a dial this morning. All right, great. Well, if you know about it, fantastic. But it seems there's only 2 of you on the call, which is a great opportunity, I think, for me to just prop the link into the chat whilst you're setting up, Max. So if you don't know about it, please click on the link. It was a 2, Claire. See, you're having the same day as I am. I completely understand. We'll have a coffee later and share notes. Right, enough of all that, because I know the reason that you're all here is, of course, oh, good, Lisa, that's excellent. Tell everybody on the call. She had a sales call yesterday. Very interested in Surgery Intellect. So join Lisa. Be more Lisa. All right, message to all of you. Okay, enough of all that, because we're here to talk about voice agents today, and we're very excited about voice agents across Exxon Health. I know Max is buzzing to get going on this one. It's part 2, if you like, of the call we had last month. So without further ado, to my all-important icebreaker, fingers at the ready. I would like to know, please, if you could make a voice agent do anything, what would you make a voice, within reason, what would you make a voice agent do across your practice? What would you get it helping you with? If you could make it do anything, what would you get a voice agent doing for you? Ordering prescriptions. That's a good answer. Any more for any more? Repeat meds. Okay. Also a good answer, Nina. I'm not picking favourites, I promise. Any more for any more? Complete our OC. Oh, that's a funny coincidence, isn't it? Booking appointments with the most of. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, okay. Excellent. All right, triaging. I'm sure there's more of those to come. So whilst you're continuing with your answers in the chat, I'll do the usual bit of housekeeping. So firstly, to say the call's going to be recorded for prosperity and sharing. If you need to drop off, don't worry, you're not going to miss a thing. We know you're all busy. And we will try and keep you for only 30 minutes. Second of all, we love the questions. So now you know where the chat is. Please feel free to use it at any time. Pop your questions in there and we'll get to them when we can. My name's Lucy Glynn. I am the community manager here at Exxon Health. And with me today is the rather fabulous Max Gatlin. I said the same thing last month. He's going to let it go to his head, isn't he? But he is rather fabulous. Just don't say it too loudly. And he is here to tell you all about voice agents, our very first voice agent within Exxon Health. It's all very exciting. So without further ado, Max, how are you?
I'm very good. Yeah, a little bit of stress this morning, getting in slightly late, but it's good to be here.
Honestly, I'm still flustered. But your voice sounds better. You sound a lot better than you did last month, so that's good. Yeah, less husky. All right, steady. Right then. So, voice agents, tell us everything.
Perfect. I think what I'll do, I know that this is, and I should remind everybody, this is part 2 of our kind of two-part series around voice agents. So part one is, I believe, available on YouTube, Lucy. We can share it in the follow-up email. So part one, we covered off Exxon Health's approach to voice agents, what to look out for, not only quick wins, but how to release the most benefit from voice agents, where you can save time, but also speed up your patient's time to care as well. And there's ways to do that efficiently and effectively using Xflow, and we'll delve into a little bit deeper into that. So part one, I got a bit of feedback. People were expecting a live demo on part one. Today, I can announce that we will be doing a live demo in part two. So we'll do a live demo today. We'll show how it comes into the surgery. And I guess part one was all about making sure that yes, we use technology and we deploy technology, but it's all about improving the lives of humans, whether that's your staff, whether that's your patients. So please do watch part one, because our approach is very much human-centric, if you like. Yes, we're talking about technology, but we're all about the human and the human touch, the human journey, care pathways, and also your workflows within your healthcare organization, whether you're a practice, PCN, or all of the above. So I'll jump in. There are a couple of slides. I love to set context. It's really important to set context. So I know that there's lots going on in this space at the moment. There's only 3 or 4 slides, but I really do need to give you the context, and then we'll jump into the live demo, and we can even see internally how that's received into your Surgery Connect system or your phone bar. So let's start with sharing my screen. No one's in the chat needed, just a thumbs up, Lucy, if you can see that.
I can see that, yes.
Awesome.
Thumbs up.
Thank you. So I'm going to jump straight in. When we developed a voice agent, of course, what we needed to do was have somewhere for that to land. So ultimately what we've done, again, I'm diving straight in here, is we needed somewhere for that to land. And obviously, if we're doing speech to text technology and we're submitting a request into your surgery via text, it makes sense. If we're sending it in via text and voice, we also need the patient to send it in via text and voice. So today we're covering off voice agents and how we complete these forms via voice, but it's important to note that this is also available in text, and that the name of the product that we've got is Omni Consultation, or already kind of known in the market as Omni Consult. And I'll touch on towards the end of the webinar around why we've built it that way, delivering equity of access regardless of the patient's need, but all comes into a single flow in the practice. So I just want to flash this up to show you an example of a medical request being submitted via text through the system. And what that essentially looks like is, for example, I've got a lump under my armpit, so I've completed the Omni Consult, if you like, prior to this webinar, and then before I submit it, I can confirm that there. Now, one thing I want to do is just show how that lands into the surgery, but I'm going to do that afterwards. So I've submitted this into our inbox. Then we're going to do a live voice agent demo, and then we're going to look at how they're both received into our lovely Surgery Connect phone bar. So I did just want to recap this from part one of this series. Our approach to voice agents, as I said before, we can deploy this extremely quickly. We don't do summarization of the patient's input. Therefore, we're not a medical device. We'll get there, Ben. I think that's point 3 on this slide, so we will get there. Thanks. Please keep the questions coming. They're all very beneficial. But what we can do with the way that we've approached voice agents is deploy this very quickly. Like I said, we've got it available in text. We can just allow the patients to submit it in voice, and we'll discuss at length all of the benefits that brings to patients, and we can do it really quickly in terms of deployment. Again, talking about deployment, as you'll know, we serve over half the country with their telephony and their infrastructure, and we have a 99.999% retention rate. And the only reason we've lost 10 customers in the last 16 years is because we understand the local nuance of general practice. We know we are building solutions and deploying them into organizations that operate completely different from each other. There's 6,500 different organizations within this country, and we need to meet the needs of not only your staff, your workflows, but also your patients. Now, it's worth noting those 10 customers we lost, I believe 6 have come back. So yeah, we're doing pretty well in terms of retention, but that's only because we understand how you work. So where we're deploying voice agents, what we've spent the time doing, and the reason we've taken, I think we've been developing this for over a year now, is to make it highly integrated, which we'll demo, highly customizable, but also very easy to use. So we've now got this new agent Xflow or agent block that you can bring into your Xflow, and we'll jump into the back end and show you exactly how that sits. But it's a simple drag and drop process, and you can launch your voice agent right into your call flow. There we go, I jumped ahead slightly there. But the note here is that it does work with your existing workflow. So to Ben's point, we are developing this voice agent to feed into your existing online consultation forms. And that's a really important note, is that, yes, lots of I've been demoing this for the last 2 weeks directly with some of our partner sites, and that's a question that pops up, half the time. And of course, we don't want to disrupt your workflow. We want to make it better. So of course, if you've got a workflow at the moment that's working, and you've got an online consultation form that you're using in your surgery, of course, this voice agent will be able to complete that form for you. And lastly, as I said, going back to the first point, we can realize benefits very, very quickly. And it's all about patient choice, configuration of your call flow. I'm in part of a WhatsApp group that I was discussing this morning. Yeah, the technology is great, it's there, but really how is it used by humans? And that's really our focus. And we can unlock, by putting in patient choice into the call flow, you may get 30 or 40% of your callers that still want to speak to a human. You may get 25 that want to go off to a chatbot because they're on the bus, they don't want to speak out loud. Or they may be hard of hearing, and you may get the rest that want to speak to a voice agent. It's all about patient choice, but in terms of a workflow and how that comes into your surgery, that needs to be unified in a single system, and that's what we'll show today. I'm not going to go through any more slides. We're going to do a live demo, and then I'm actually going to jump into the back end where I can show you exactly how we've configured this agent block. But again, I've spoken about this a lot, about giving context. It's deeply integrated, highly customizable, but easy usable. Right. Without further ado, I'm going to need a sound check on this because I'm going to call. It's always difficult when I'm doing a one-to-one demo. What I can do is obviously change my dummy patient details to whoever's on the other end of the virtual meeting or in person, and I can allow you to actually call the voice agent directly and submit your own Omni consult via the phone. Doing webinars and forums like this, I'm going to have to hold my phone up to my speaker. It did work yesterday. I did a test. Just let me know if you can or can't hear it. So let's jump in.
Anyone else nervous?
Yeah, well, the way that my laptop's working this morning, Lucy, who knows? So what I'm going to do is I have a dummy patient in my, I'm using EMIS, so I've got a dummy patient in EMIS, which I know the date of birth of, and EMIS, of course, knows the phone number I'm calling on. So that's the point of patient verification, because we are a telephone provider that's, again, deeply integrated. And as you know, if you're using Surgery Connect, when a patient calls, we recognize who that patient is. What we can do with our voice agent is automatically verify who that patient is simply by asking their date of birth, and then we do the patient lookup.
Will we be able to see your screen, Max? Is that?
I'll share
just
it.
Watching you on the phone.
I'll
okay.
share. Actually, yeah. Let me bring up a EMIS interface, and just so you can see, there's not going to be anything on there. You're just going to see my patient details. Okay. So yeah, probably worth noting, I've got my EMIS instance open in the background, and as you should all have, I've got my amazing Surgery Connect phone bar at the bottom. As you can see, we've got all of the features and functionalities. It's worth noting that Surgery Intellect is behind the cognition or the brain here, but what we're going to look at today is our communications window. And if I open up the communications window, you'll see I've got my online submission form that I completed earlier, which I brought up on screen, and that's been submitted via text. So you can see it says it's been an online submission, so I've got the mode of access, it's picked up the patient, and then it's got that form that's been completed. Now what I'm going to showcase is how a voice agent would submit that into the surgery. So on my phone, again, please do let me know if you can hear.
I love the dramatic pause.
Please speak clearly and concisely and try to ensure there is minimal background noise. Press at any time to stop talking to our agent. Please state your date of birth.
The 18th of September, 1991.
You stated your date of birth is 18th September 1991, is that correct?
Yes.
Thank you. We have found your details. We will now ask you some questions about your call today. Please speak clearly and concisely when answering questions and try to ensure there is no background noise. Our agent is limited to 10 minutes to capture your answers and is limited to 1 minute per answer. We will repeat each answer back to you and ask you to confirm your response after each answer you give. Is this regarding an existing problem? Please state yes or no.
No.
You have stated this is a new problem, is that correct?
Yes.
Please describe the medical problem you're calling about today.
I found a lump under my armpit this morning.
I've recorded that you're calling about, I found a lump under my armpit this morning. Is that correct?
Yes.
How long has this problem been going on for? Is it getting better or worse?
I don't know. I realised it this morning in the shower.
To confirm, you stated, I don't know. I realised it this morning in the shower. Is that correct?
Yes.
Have you tried anything to help improve the problem?
No.
You have stated no. Is that correct?
Yes.
Is there anything that is particularly a worry?
I have a family history of cancer.
You have stated, I have a family history of cancer. Is that correct?
Yes.
Tell us in a few words how we can help.
I'd like to speak to a doctor and maybe have a scan.
Thanks. I have captured. I'd like to speak to a doctor and maybe have a scan. Is that correct?
Yes.
Could you please tell us the best times to contact you?
Any weekday before 6 p.m.
To confirm, the best time to contact you is any weekday before 6 p.m. Is that correct?
Yes.
Thanks for answering all of our questions.
And as you can see, just like the text submission that we had, the online submission that we had received here, I can see that this has come straight into my waiting list. And I can also see the patient that it's verified through the date of birth and phone number, and that it was voice agent generated. Now, there's a couple of things that you heard in that conversation that are customizable and changeable, i.e. the prompt at the beginning of the conversation. We notified that they had a minute per answer, 10 minutes in total, etc. That's all customizable in your prompt and Xflow. And again, we'll jump through into the back end of Xflow in a moment if we have time. But ultimately, this is the inbox that we bring it into. So all launched from the phone bar, we've got this communications window. You'll all be aware of the calls option, photos and voicemail, but then we now have the forms, and this is where your Omni consults come in. And you can see over, where we've been demoing this over the last couple of weeks and testing it, we built up quite a waiting list. But of course, when you're logged into your phone bar, you would only see the ones that are assigned to you or your team. Now we've got the full request, we've got the questions and answers that came in that I talked about. As you can see, it's done the speech to text very, very well. It's picked everything that needed to up. We've got a full transcription that we can review, and we've even got the response, the audio of the phone call that's here as well. So we've got the full recording. If you're not quite sure of what the speech to text is given, or you want to query it, you can then re-listen to the audio and do it there. Now, from an online consultation workflow perspective, now you will all work in different ways, and that's absolutely fine. What you will know is got the action response over here. So how are we triaging it, prioritizing it, assigning it? But then we've also got the ability to add codes. So if I wanted to give this a priority, and I wanted to add a code to it, again, I may not do this unless I'm a doctor, so I'll hold on to coding it. I'll say, try to call patient back, send SMS. And what I would do as a care navigator, potentially, if I wanted to call the patient, I could come here. So we can communicate directly back to the patient as a response to the Omni console. If I want to message them, I may even come in and send them a message and also add a booking link to that invitation. Now I could invite the patient in for an appointment directly via a single booking link as a clinician or care navigator. We again can add the codes. I hadn't saved it. Don't want to add the SNOMED code, and then what we do is we log. So we log the activity there against the comments, and we've got a full activity or an audit log there. So if I then move this through to the triage queue, and this may be a duty doctor or somebody that's sitting in there, we then receive that, and then we can review this. We can see that it's high priority. I need to review it. I may need to request a photo or set up a video call with the user. And then as a GP, I may want to, again, I'm just running through test SNOMEDs. We would not SNOMED code it like this. But we've got that integration built in, so I can code that Omni console. And in the bottom right-hand side here, I can confirm I'm happy with it, and I can save it to the record. And we can file that away as well. One thing I didn't note as well with the appointment booking links is if I choose one, we can also save that message to the record. So we code the fact the message has been sent as well. Now I know we're going far beyond just voice agents here, and we're actually looking at internal workflows and processes and how we receive Omni consults into one place. But the the thinking behind all of this, as I started the webinar with, was we're using technology to improve the lives of humans, and it's all about equity of access. So regardless of the patient's need, they are able to submit a digital request into the surgery, whether using their voice or their text, and that's why we called it OmniConsult. Now, if I just flip over back to my other screen, I want to leave 5 minutes for questions on this one, Lucy, because I imagine there's going to be a lot that pop up.
You might need a few more than 5 minutes. We've got some great ones in the chat, actually, Max. So
fantastic. So yeah, I'll summarize this very quickly then. So what we've just seen there is voice agent coming in, and that's the window we've just seen, but we decided to do a live example. There's multiple reasons as to why we want to be a single system, and again, it's just safer. We can do patient audits better. We can track the data and tweak the flows, etc. And again, I won't go into detail on this, but Lucy, I think we're going to put a link in the chat where patients can everybody on the call can request a bit more information on this. But where I wanted to jump to was the fact that we can also surface. So again, we've built the text-based OC form here, and we can build that link just like an online consultation platform, and we can surface that wherever we like. What we're seeing lots with our Excellent Health customers is deploying it into Surgery Assist, because of course we know Surgery Assist does the signposting away from general practice, but also allows them to submit a text-based consult into the surgery. And then one thing I wanted to do was just showcase one of the Xflow examples. So this is the number that I've just called, and as you can see, we've got the online consult agent block here. Yes, we've got the prompt, and this is where we mentioned about you can change what your call flow is saying to the patient. Are you giving them patient choice and navigating them elsewhere before they submit the response? We do the patient identification, so we verify the patient based on phone number of date of birth. And then again, we look at our agent block. We had a medical request form block, but as you can imagine, there's all types of different agents that we can build in to ask different questions. And then what you'll end up with, as we construct this with you and our customer success team as our customers, we build out these flows to actually help the patient get to the right service first time, and not just all flow through into your inbox and you're basically on your laps and your workload. That is pretty much everything I've got to show today around voice agents. I'd love to get questions and get your thoughts.
I'm really glad you said that, because there's some great questions. Let's skip through some easy ones. Does this work with System 1?
Yes. If you've got Surgery Connect, it works with System 1.
If the number is not verified, are there other means for a patient to confirm their ID?
Not at the moment. So we do the automated verification via the voice agent. So we would need the phone number in Surgery Connect at the moment. I believe, and I may be wrong, so one thing that I didn't showcase was the total triage window. And that's if you do operate a total triage at your surgery, you can complete that form from that window. And from there, we assign a patient as well. I would need to check with Melissa. I don't know if Melissa's on the call. Our product director.
She is on the call. So it'd be great if you could just pop some information in the chat actually on that one. I'm going to bail you out here, Max, because there's actually more questions that I think you can probably deal with. So there's questions around how sensitive the voice agent is. So one, does it work well in a noisy environment? Another, does it cope with people with accents?
Yes, initial testing has been extremely successful. So we've partnered with essentially a voice model, a best in market voice model that we run through. So the detection, the semantics, and everything that we pick up, it's all there, different dialects. Again, we'd love, as we deploy this with your surgery, we'd love to work with you and work with even patient participation groups and test the platform. But all of our testing that we've done internally has been hugely successful. So yeah, we've been very careful about the partner that we've chosen to run the model.
Okay, sticking with a similar theme, Ben asks, does this only work with text fields and not options that the OC platform might present? E.g., it might list various symptoms for the patient to choose from.
Yeah, so we've had this conversation with several partners that already have other online consultation forms that are more kind of, Bayesian logic, yes, no, tree flows and diagrams. At the moment, it is a free text-based, because we're completed it via voice, we need to allow that natural language. So at the moment, it is text-based or voice-based, but it's free text, I should say.
Okay. Nina asks, again, sort of along the partner front, ICB funds AccuRx OC. So although we'd find the voice agent really helpful, we're unable to move to a new OC platform. Are you looking to API into other OC providers?
That's a resounding yes. Yeah, absolutely, we are.
Excellent. Okay. Again, this looks to be more of a custom OC platform that you're offering rather than working with our own current OC. I was led to believe that this wasn't the case. So I think that covers that question as well.
Yeah, absolutely not the case. So yeah, sorry, I should have made it slightly more obvious on the slide. When I mentioned it works with your workflows, that also means it works with your internal technologies as well. So we can integrate with those forms. As you all will be aware, there's development work to be done, but our plan is to integrate with all of them if we can. But certainly some of the larger providers we're already speaking to, and yeah, we're on that path.
And there was an earlier question: do you have to have Surgery Assist in order to be able to use this?
No, this is standalone. At the moment, you do require Surgery Connect to use the voice agent.
You said at the moment. That's interesting. We'll pull on that thread later. Possibly not in this one because we're running out of time fast. Great question here from Steve. This one's going to get you. I hate you feeling fiery. There are AI agents on the market. Why would you choose you?
That's a very good question. I would go back and watch part 1 of this series, I think. Yes, there's absolutely, I've been, it's become Lucy, at risk of boring you, Lucy, you've seen me talk about this several weeks. There are huge benefits to working with a single supplier. And I mentioned about patient audits, patient safety, data gathering, working in a complete and understanding of patient pathways, but then also from a compliance point of view and data governance point of view, we're a trusted supplier. And we believe that, yes, whilst there's point solutions out there that, the way that AI has developed over the last 2 years, we've got over 17 different models with all different versions within them. There's lots of point solutions that are coming out, but it's just choosing a provider that is trusted and understand the needs of your surgery and your patients. One thing that we do, and I'm glad Melissa is on the call, is we want to deploy safe products that you can unlock benefits. We don't need to get the most recent model that just got launched yesterday by DeepSeek, OpenAI, or all of the above. What we need to do is make sure that we've always got the patient in mind and your staff in mind, and that's the way that our technology and our products are built. So there's a couple of reasons why we believe the single supplier should be chosen, and I do go into a bit more detail in part 1 of this series on that.
And
I'm open for like a follow-up question on that, because I don't want to be vague. I want to be very, very clear that yes, of course, we are behind the scenes developing highly innovative products, but in order to get them out to the market and scale them, it just takes time, because we go through very stringent compliance processes at Exon Health. So it's really important that we put safety first.
What is it Tortoise says? As slow as we need, as fast as we can. Question from Suzanne: does this link with the NHS app?
In what way, Suzanne? I'm intrigued. So at the moment, I'd be keen to find out in which way. So Exon Health as a partner, we are working to integrate with the NHS app for various reasons, but that's more for other features that we have within our product suite other than the voice agent at the moment.
Okay. And continuing the theme, I suppose, you've sort of already covered this, but I think Barry's really calling it out. There's a world of difference between the 6 free text boxes like AccuRx and the regimented flows of Anima, Rapid Health, and others. It's more of a statement than a question, I think, at this point.
I can come in on that. Yeah, so there's, as I said, that I've just shown you our first iteration, which is very, very ready to deploy safely and in a compliant way. We are very much aware that we will be offering custom question sets, whether it's dynamic questioning or ones that you customize yourself. So like I said, we are investing heavily in this area. We are developing lots of things internally, but we have processes that we need to go through as an organization to make sure we're deploying. As I said, we serve over half the country, so it's really important that what we do works and is safe. Yeah. Hi, Barry and Suzanne, by the way. Great to have you.
Yeah. He goes on to sort of talk about needing the human in the loop, which I think is something we've always talked about, Max. Absolutely. Anyway, isn't it? And Suzanne's elaborated on her point around connection to the NHS app. She means the submission of forms via the NHS app. So anything else to say on that one, or are we?
I'd say at the moment we're we're not, at the moment, we're not integrated in that way to submit forms into the surgery via the NHS app. I'd be intrigued to see, just look at that workflow specifically and see how those forms are coming into the surgery, because do we need the NHS app? And for that, could we just send them directly into you in the way that you're currently receiving those?
And I'm going to give Ben the last word. Merely my opinion. Most practices, if not all, will already have an OC platform which they're stuck in contract with. I think it'd be very good to prioritise VR for areas such as repeat prescription ordering. Going back to the earlier question, that's what he wanted it for. So I see what you're doing here, Ben. Very clever. All right, I have put a link in the chat. If you would like to arrange a more in-depth demo of this product, please complete the form. But that is it from us today. We have timed out massively. So we hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you ever so much to Max for demoing that. It was a nerve-wracking experience at the top of the call, but I think we got there. Our next webinar is planned for the 19th of November, so look out for the link in the follow-up email. I will, of course, follow up with this recording and part 1 included as well, and answer any questions that we've missed. What else do I want to say? I want to say thank you all for your participation. It's been fantastic. I've never had so many questions. I'm exhausted. I'm going to go lie down in a dark room. But in the meantime, have a wonderful rest of the October, and we'll see you again for more in November. Until then, thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Thank you.